Baby boy, chuck your chin up. You don't got much luck. In his eyes, he wanna kill the streets, but I heard niggas you before. It sound real to me. You can deny it, but you a liar, like when you told me that your skills elite. Remember you told me you was defensive player of the year? So why you ain't have steal and reach? This
We want every side to come together to attempt to take down the 100 side.
Man, they gotta understand.
We want all the smoke.
We go off the content.
Three, two, one. Hey there, welcome back to the channel where we keep it real. No capping. I'm your host, bringing you nothing but straight fire and authenticity. Today, we're diving into 12 rooms that I got to promote. The 100 ENT showroom, hosted by Big Wack100. The Beehive room. Love and R&B room, hosted by the queen of the 100 side, R&B. No room for the weak. No mercy room. Spin the block room. 100 ENT Jailbreak squad room. 100 ENT South room. Petty Betty and Toxic Tanya room. Dangerous Minds room, hosted by Beast. Good Burger, hosted by Pitbull. Sleepless in LA, and many more. If you want to get closer or you want to be a part of the show, go to Clubhouse, follow one of these rooms, or you look for a room titled with Wack100. These particular videos all made possible by the one and only Wack100. Get ready to vibe with me as we explore the hardest topics that need some real recognition in the streets. Let's jump right into it and show some love to this channel by hitting the like and or subscribe button. So, without further ado, hold it down. One mic on Welke.
God damn. Adam said he don't watch the thing him and the Chasing Love and his wife does. Think that's a sign that it's getting to him?
Yup.
He just wants to live in his fairy tale world, stay in his bubble.
Did he normally watch them? If he normally watched them,
don't know.
choose this one not to watch. I don't know.
If he watch it, he'll never get that image out of his head while he's trying to do stuff with her. So this is going up.
Yeah, because they still doing business, right? Shit.
You did one.
Yeah, she
But-
feeling me.
Before the Jason Love shit, they were other females together, right? Like that was the first dude she slept with, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why he can't watch that shit. He can't. That's the that'll fuck him up.
Yeah, that's the first dude.
Cam, I seen in the chat you was concerned about what did I say something wrong or something?
Nah, they said I was watching your live with 600 when it played on the jump. So I was like, what happened? What'd he say? So I just ran back and listened to it on the YouTube. I was like, he didn't even say nothing crazy. Like y'all act like the nigga, like the nigga said for something. He didn't say all that, man. You know? All publicity is good publicity. I gotta get a business going, man. Shit.
Smart man.
Got you, Cam. Don't even put.
I'm gonna get that clip and I'm gonna put it up. I'm be like, yeah, that's me that he was talking about.
Shit, all you really gotta do is start getting back into your character on here. Because now they know your name. Now when they start hearing you, they're gonna put that voice to that name and turn it up.
For sure.
Well, you guys, that was a really good podcast. I enjoyed it. I'm over here.
Do we have audio to play the live back? Because we kind of missed
Yeah,
the
because
live.
I wanted to hear the live too.
Yeah, that was good content.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock. We about to roll out.
Yeah.
We sure are. What we got next? I believe it's
Hip Hop
Hip
Council.
Hop
Hip Hop
Council.
Council. Yeah. Everybody running in there. We gotta finish the list.
Never think we would care about any of that. It's that one. Like with Puff at one time, believe it or not, it was Cassie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As much as you saw him run around do what he was doing,
But how old was she when he discovered her?
like 20.
I feel
21?
that's what I'm saying. Is that like for Drake, I feel like any girl out there, he's already met them all. So it's either like you're drafting very young women, or you're gonna have to re-rock something. Because realistically, I just feel like he f***ed every girl that he probably
Yeah, but
wanted to.
It's that one somewhere that he didn't kept in contact with. It's that one somewhere he ain't let the media see. That one that know how to conduct herself and stay low and don't open her mouth. And then when she stops answering the phone or blocks him, it's that one. It's always that one that got your number.
Do you think he wish he had a shoulder to cry on during the beef?
That's probably that one.
You
know what I'm
so you
saying?
think she does exist? We just don't know
Yeah,
about her.
she exists. That's a piece of he's a human and he's a man.
Ironically, when I was in Houston this weekend, Drake was also in Houston, which I did not know until I saw a clip of Rico Reckless saying hello to him in the club.
He always down there.
Yeah, it's kind of his second
He
home.
always down there. It's a DJ dude down there he real tight with. I forget his name.
And I saw Jay Prince Jr. and
Was he doing the antics? Hey, so what's going on? That's his like
what the is that?
that's his Denzel Washington talk. He talks very totally different.
I was a little concerned that he might not be feeling me because I talk to you on the podcast regularly.
What I
but-
got to do with you?
I mean, because you're always saying something about them.
Yeah, but that's way before you. That ain't got nothing to do with no jumper.
Yeah, but a lot of people tend to kind of just assume that
That's cap.
things that you have said to me are also my opinions.
That's cap. That whole shit was before you.
I've never said anything bad about YG, but YG dismissed me when I saw him because I'm
what?
sitting next to Brick Baby talking crazy about him.
That's because you talking
Says some
crazy
stuff.
about him.
But I'm just sitting there like, but
No.
I still get judged.
No, you must have said something.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I mean,
In fact, I intentionally left him out of the
He
conversation
should've-
during some very serious events from
he
a few
shouldn't have
years
tripped
back.
in. Like he shouldn't have tripped in. That means he's always had a problem with you.
Probably
Because
just
if
really
somebody
didn't give a fuck about me.
if somebody's there, they talking, and he sees the fact that we see you stay out of it is a gesture of respect.
But I feel like he's not necessarily paying close enough attention to realize that I'm trying to stay out of it when I'm like intentionally sitting next to someone like you and Brick over and over who are just dissing him repeatedly.
Who's dissing YG repeatedly? I ain't never dissed.
I feel like you and I have been through that. Brick definitely slammed him.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I just I don't even think we had a conversation about the Blueface thing, maybe. And other than that,
Brick called him an op lover also.
op lover.
Yeah.
Who was he?
I think,
Who did YG team up with? Because YG
don't
and
know.
Nipsey was close.
yeah, I forget because I think it ended up kind of not making sense because I think he was mad at YG for.
Well, here goes the thing. Here goes what's funny about that. Brick had a DP coming for protecting YG.
What does that mean?
They was coming out. I think Big U's son had got disrespected out of spot because 600 was there. They rolled up there to do something to YG. Somebody
600 did.
No, it was a bunch of 60s went up there. 600 was just with him. They had disrespected Big U's son or something.
And this was how long ago?
Probably about 5-6 years ago.
And Brick Baby protected YG.
I can call 600 right now. Everybody got DP for it, but Brick didn't show up. He got YG out the back and left with him. He put YG in his car. He jumped in the car on YG. He eluded him and got it. While they're looking for him, Brick's moving him elsewhere.
You gotta protect the bag.
So they had a relationship prior to. Probably happened. YG about to stop answering his calls. Did some industry shit. You know that happens.
Yeah,
You got to know how to deal with that.
I mean, they were cool at one point. Brick. There's a song with Compton AD and Brick Baby on a YG album.
Yeah, I don't.
That's some no.
I don't got no direct problems. I mean, my issue came when when he did some weird shit where we was getting ready to do where we did a collab song called Bloods, Crips, Power Rules.
Right.
And it was YG, OT Genesis, Mozzie, and we put Blueface on there. And came time to shoot the video, and he was like, I shoot the video, but you gotta take Blueface off the verse. He doing too much cripping. And I was confused because Famous Crip was out when you got on the remix, Tatiana. Like, you can't do too much more cripping than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, on the Dead Lokes, Respect My Crippin', all this is on the album, and then all of a sudden, but I think what it was at that time, Blueface buzz was up, and I think he kind of looked at Blueface at that time that, okay, this little motherfucker got the potential to kind of steal the light at that time, right? It was a different YG. And I just didn't understand it. And I was on the phone with my homeboy, Big Bruce from Compton Crip. And he was like, yo, that kind of odd, because, you know, he used to be a Crip. I'm like, what? And they sent me the pictures and shit. You know, some like Gundry Block or some shit, and something impaired my something. I was real confused at that point in time, because nobody that used to be something can't say a dude is doing too much of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So other than that, you know, maybe they was a little, you know what though? You might have a problem with you because you was a big Draco fan.
I don't think that's enough for him to give a fuck about.
Shit. Boy, that's what it is.
If I can sit with Munchie every week, I think I could shake hands with YG.
Who was Bunchy?
Draco's main antagonist at a certain point.
Nah, he didn't. Bro, come on. Let's be real. No shade on Munchie. Let's just keep it real. Bro, I gave Munchie B his presence on YouTube.
All I'm saying is that
I'm gonna be real,
Munchie B addressed Draco relentlessly while YG more or less never directly responded to him.
Nobody heard it. But you had Draco
on an LA level.
You had Draco speaking on YG all the time, right?
And Munchie.
And YG, I didn't know who the fuck Munchie B was till he came on Clubhouse and I embarrassed his ass, and then it went viral from there. That's when his grandmama came in there and told him he using up all the Wi-Fi.
I would like to pivot. I want to hook these people in by talking to you about the fact that 607 Unk, after last week's performance in which he disrespected the B team, created commotion all over the city, that I left Thursday night to go to Texas. On Friday, Unk and 4Extra sat down and they had a conversation on camera.
I told you not to do that.
Has gone extremely viral.
Didn't I tell you not to do that?
I do recall you saying that.
I said, don't do it.
We got security here. Somehow there was a lapse in which I believe too many people were allowed in here, but 607 Unk basically got called out by 4Extra. 4Extra more or less
called him out,
indirectly or directly told him that he would essentially make him stop breathing. Unk, honestly, like, it's kind of bizarre. He drove down, like literally the next day, he drove to Texas to meet up with us. We hung out for 3 hours, didn't see him again after that.
So before you announced he's not coming back.
This is before anything regarding him quitting.
No, before, yeah, I talked to him for like an hour.
Okay.
Calmed him down. He was cool.
Yeah.
Because I pointed out to him, what you do, 607 Unk, is you do a bunch of weird shit. You say a bunch of outrageous shit to get the people's attention, and then you deliver your message, right? He said, Wack, that's exactly what I do. I said, okay. And you did it in your way of doing it, right? Right. I said, okay.
What was the message that came after Hoover blank remover?
Hold on.
I missed that.
No, you're missing the point. It's his overall, as weird as 607 acts, he always goes to some type of, the man is not stupid. He just plays crazy. He always goes to something biblical or what people need to stop doing. He'll do a bunch of weird shit, look around, whatever, on my mama line, or just to get you to look at him, and then he'll try to deliver a message from his perception. I told 607, 4Extras did the same thing. If he's here with 30, 40 dudes, I said, was you touched? No. Did they rob you? No. They didn't kick in your ass, spit on you, go in your pockets? No. But it got your attention, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And his message was, stop playing with this West Coast gangbang culture, right? Yeah. Did you hear him? Yeah. But then you wouldn't have heard it any other time. So he did to you what you do to everybody else, just in his way. Mm-hmm. Because if they wanted to get him, he would have been got. Right. That wasn't the mission. The mission was to get your attention. And I applaud 4 Extras, because the 4 Extras that we know would have did something to him, right? But he didn't. And that's out of respect of his work. 4 Extras know that this is his workplace. Right? But everything he did got his attention. I said, did you hear what he said? Yeah, I heard. Yeah, y'all act different when it comes to that. Okay, so now his message was delivered. 607, you wouldn't, if somebody would have been just trying to talk to you regular, you gonna troll. You're not gonna hear nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said, so you can't get mad at 4 Extras for you to doing it his way if you don't want us to get mad at you for doing it your way.
Right. Like, my perspective is that everybody involved is at least a little bit guilty. I think that the No Jumper staff, as much as it was good that we had security on deck, they fucked up by allowing too many people to be in the building. That's just not, we're not equipped to deal with that many people. It's just not, it's not okay. We got to set harsher standards and be more strict about this. 4 Extra, I feel like, was wrong because he was probably too aggressive. I don't think the words, I'm going to kill you, should ever really leave your mouth when you're communicating with somebody else that you work with or that is part of the No Jumper team. I appreciate that he didn't do anything physical, but I think that he probably crossed a few lines. I'm going to send this to him so that I don't have to repeat this. But I feel like he crossed a few lines by saying, I'm going to kill you. Okay. If that actually happened. Well, it really basically happened in the podcast.
Okay, so is a dude crossing lines by saying something that rings, come kill me? Is a dude crossing lines who's putting people in this building in situations that they may not want to be in, because that disrespectful shit he said to Munchie, right? It puts people in the situation.
I completely agree, and I feel like, despite the fact that No Jumper staff was at fault for not having, obeyed the rules about how many people were able to come in, and despite the fact that 4 Extra crossed some sort of line when he was yelling at Unc, the original sin in all of this, and the main message that so many of us seem to have respected over the years that Unc doesn't seem to get, is that LA street shit is taken extremely seriously.
That's a fact.
And what he said to Munchie was completely out of bounds and should never have happened. And in addition to that, I get it that you were trolling, but all the jokes that he was making about 4 Extra, primarily implying gay shit, just not going to go over well.
But who else crossed the line, though? I mean, we're going to keep it real. Like, let's keep it real. Who else crossed the line? You know, this 2025, this ain't 1825. You crossed the line.
What did I do?
Because you initiated all that talk about 4 Extras to even allow the door to be open for this dude to say what he said. So
when did I coax him into saying some gay shit?
You start talking about whatever's supposed to happen. He keeps screaming it.
What?
He like, yo, 4, why you get mad at me when I was responding to what Adam said? That's all he been screaming.
Wait, who was responding to what I said?
607 keeps screaming. 4 Extras, why you tripping on me, but you ain't said nothing to Adam when I'm responding to what Adam said about you?
But I never said any gay shit about him besides this carrot allegation, which I don't even think is technically gay.
Well, what did you say? Because it's all he's screaming.
I don't know, but I mean,
you don't remember what you said?
I probably said.
But you remember what everybody else said.
The only gay shit that I would, you're talking about like a random podcast I did months ago. The only thing I would ever have said about 4 Extras that was in any way gay was just talking about the carrot thing.
Okay, but you talked about it with 607.
Yeah, we for sure discussed that.
Okay, so
I discussed that with a lot of people.
But if you never,
he's the one who went to a different level and said basically like really gay shit about 4 Extra.
So if you wouldn't have never opened that door, it would have never been an extended conversation.
Listen, I didn't pull this carrot rumor out of thin air. This was something that was already being discussed on a variety of channels.
And Hefe said he talked to somebody, which I'm not going, because he from A-Train Gangster. They enemies. So anything he talking about with 4 Extras, I'm going to take with a grain of salt unless he got it.
Although it was pointed out that Spody Face did a podcast with Hefe. So if he could do it, why can't 4 extras?
Because 4 extras is 4 extras.
Yeah.
Spody face is Spody face.
I know. But either way, all I'm saying is that 607 Unk, his whole thing is like disrespecting gangs and shit. Like, or at least that's one
no,
arc
I told
to
him
his,
that. I said, bro,
his humor.
You
it's not
saying,
gonna work out.
You
right.
saying I'm blood cripping, bro? All that. I said, y'all don't know how the Chicago dudes taking it. People don't play with that out here.
Yeah.
I told him that. You know what I'm saying?
You can just imagine that, like, if he didn't learn this lesson now, he was going to keep doing this, and you can imagine what he would say to a Crip to get a crazy, outrageous moment.
Yeah,
if he keeps, like, he's done enough. If he's going to keep trying to run this little gimmick into the ground, it's not going to be good.
No, he's going to get hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And now he made it dangerous. Look, let's kill this podcast shit. You dissed everything that come with a burgundy and a red flag. Everything, right? So that means if you out getting gas and the average little dude see you, or you just want to go to the mall, or you sitting there eating, fuck the rappers and the YouTubers. You just open the door to everybody. That's not directed at Munchie. That's directed at anything that fall up under that flag.
And my main thing with Unk too is I was just telling him, I'm like, listen, we can agree that multiple mistakes were made by the staff, by me for even doing this without being there to maybe be a moderator. Lush was the only person who was there, and he's just
Lush can't do that.
He's just incapable.
Lush
of finding,
is handicapped. Why y'all act like Lush ain't handicapped?
What's his handicap?
With one leg is shorter than the other.
I didn't even know that.
He walks with a gimp. This is a fact.
I thought he was just drunk.
Bro, he walks with one foot is flat, the other one is on the ball of his foot. He walks, bro. He walks like he's handicapped.
I didn't even know that. Either way, this is my thing.
You telling me you don't see that?
I haven't paid attention to how he walks.
Bro.
Now that you said it, for sure, I'm going to be thinking about it.
Bro, when you see him, he walks like this. It's like one foot is
like
longer.
A penguin.
Like, yeah, bro, like it's something going on.
He does look like a penguin.
Like, listen, before I met Lush, I wanted to do something to him.
Pause.
My first time, I don't pause nothing.
Okay.
Because y'all mind be on some freaky shit. Do something to him where I come from, mean touch you in a way that you don't want to be touched physically as far as with these hands, right?
Oh.
So I ain't no pause.
It still needed a pause for so much of what you just said.
No, because here goes the thing. If I say hey bro, I came through the back door to get in there.
Yeah.
That mean I came through a door with a knob and a lock.
Hey, yo.
Y'all mind be on everything. Anybody that does this extra pausing, and I gotta say, what's his nigga name?
I try not to do it.
He does the most.
You're pushing me to my limit.
What's the dude? Dame Dash?
Dame Dash is the king.
Dame Dash is gay as His mind is tuned to sexual acts on men. Yeah. His whole conversation, every 10 words, he paused in 5 of them.
No, it's insane. I agree.
Right?
He's probably the worst offender. But he basically invented it.
But when Lush walked out, the first time I seen him, I said, oh, bro, you can't, this dude's handicapped, bro. You can't do that.
Okay. What were we talking about? Basically, I just don't appreciate Unk playing the victim when all this shit is so obviously caused by him, because now he's also trying to blame me, saying that our titles were too crazy.
He told me the same shit. I said,
Brick Baby never complained about the titles.
I said 607. All of our names get put in some crazy clickbait titles. You ain't nobody special, bro.
I also just feel like we don't really cross lines in terms of titles in comparison to what everybody else is out there doing. I feel like our titles are very restrained.
That come with the game. But I said, bro, you playing victim and you violate and say the most craziest, disrespectful shit about everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know, at the end,
he's a bad victim. It's just not. It's not working.
I mean, I'm just telling you. I told him, like, look, bro, you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying?
We got. Let's see what titles we actually did here. Okay, 607 disrespects Bloods and Munchie ain't feeling it. This is restrained.
That's the truth.
That is 100% what happened. 607 quits no jumper after 4 extra threatened to kill him. He can't take issue with that.
That's against 4 extra. I didn't like you putting that title up.
Munchie B speaks on 607 dissing the Bloods. I mean, these are not spicy titles in comparison to a lot of other titles that are being used out there about this very topic.
It could have said 4 extras, first podcaster to threaten to kill an alien.
No, it
Or
could have
said 4 extras gets into it with Pookie.
You want a viral title? All the Bloods in Los Angeles are going to want to kill 607 Unk now.
Or
that's a viral title.
Or it could have said 607 Unk says all the Bloods in LA are weak.
Exactly.
And then press that. At that point, it's a problem.
But comparison, 607 Unk on accidentally dissing the Bloods in front of Munchie B. That is the most respect. Even that is giving him a huge benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying.
Doubled down.
If anything, our titles are too polite to the point where they're not true.
He doubled down and then he stood on it and said, well, you know, as a Crip, that's what we say.
Yeah. I mean... Tay F3rd says Munchie B should have beat 607 Unk for dissing Bloods.
That's a fact.
This is not clickbait titles. Like, calling these clickbait titles is totally disingenuous. Anyway, I want him back. I want us to continue to develop our relationship content-wise and continue to do content together. Obviously, we need to be a little bit more careful about who we put him with.
Adam.
What?
There's no jumper, bro. We on the West Coast. We don't want nothing back, don't want to be here. Fucking straight up. We ain't finna look like in no shape, form, or fashion that we begging or catering to nobody. This motherfucker, this boat, this ship been shot up and damn near tilted sideways. And you stood on this motherfucker. I jumped on this motherfucker. And you did what you do, and we got this motherfucker back selling.
You talked to him for an hour on the phone, and this is the message that you were left with is like,
no, I talked to him for an hour, and you can ask R&B, had him talking normal, without no antics, like, you know what, Wack, understand what you're saying. And he was impressed that I understood his methods and what he was doing. I said, look, I'm not calling to check you, I'm not calling to disrespect you or tell you what to do. I'm calling to just educate you on this coast if you're gonna be here. So he said what he said, and I said, you know what, you right. Like, I use my antics to get people's attention to deliver a message. And you right, the fact I wasn't robbed or my ass whooped or nothing happened to me, he definitely showed me how it could have went. I said, okay, so that should teach you to tone that disrespect or even play. I said, bro, don't even play with no blood and power ruin and cripping out here, bro. Do your podcast how you do it, but stay away from that. He said, no, you're right. He definitely got my attention. He told me he was going to be back Tuesday. Right? That's what he told me. I go to sleep, wake up, I see your message. Right? I hit him. What? He come on my YouTube channel.
He drove to Texas.
He came on my YouTube channel.
He's very strange. He's a very different kind of guy.
Got on. He ain't stupid.
He's a different kind of guy.
He came on my YouTube channel. We talked about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I don't understand. I just talked to you. Everything was cool.
I mean, you got to give it to him that he really has successfully made himself the main character in all this shit for the past month or so.
Yeah, he's going to always be the main character wherever he at because he's the only one like him that does what he does. He is a more animated, more current, relevant form of Orlando Brown. Makes up shit, says a bunch of shit, but he's into his character. He knows, he done looked at himself and said, okay, you's an ugly motherfucker, what you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? And I can respect that. He like, nigga, I'm gonna make noises, I'm gonna look in the air, I'm gonna do all that, because if it's 5 people sitting at the table and we're doing what humans do, waiting for the shit to come on, and you gotta do it over here with a cup doing this.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, everybody's paying attention to him.
I just wonder, like, how long that works for in terms of like pretending to be retarded.
I think he got a long lifespan. I think we're gonna look up and see 607 on television. I think he can do movies. I think he can be a character in movies. I think he can be all of that type of shit. I think he'd be a great role for this Friday movie coming up. There's always a crackhead or some weirdo that's doing some crazy shit on the block. And listen, I'm gonna be real. If it's working for him and it's getting paid respectfully, he can't take what I'm saying is disrespect because it's working for him. How many times you had Orlando up here? You didn't talk
only
to this
twice.
Dude. Listen, you know damn well when you talking to this clown, everything coming out of his mouth some bullshit.
607 Hunk is a little bit more of like a real person than Orlando Brown. Also, Orlando Brown seems to be like meth fueled or like some drug.
Definitely
alcohol.
Bro, 607 is great for his character, what he does. And I think if he does the right thing with his character, his alter ego, because the man ain't no damn fool, he can go further. Now, does he stay in this podcast space only and do it? No, he need to move around into different things.
I'm just saying,
did he do some 20v1s? I don't know.
I think he has done stuff like that, yeah. But all I'm saying is, like, you have these characters who emerge in this sort of podcasting realm. Like, take a look at Sharp. He comes out, he's got this gimmick, he's yelling at bitches. It's working, it's going great. He then sees that and he believes that he's the man and that he can do any kind of content he wants. So all of a sudden he's interviewing 60-year-old rappers and random people. And it's just like,
here's the difference,
he
though.
thought he was a star on a level that he clearly wasn't. Now 607 Unk, he's out here. He's making every podcast that he's on fun and unpredictable, and it's working so good. But the thing about it is that we have to keep switching it up. You know, it's like it has to stay interesting, and the gimmick of dissing gangs is really not going to work.
Here's the difference between him and Sharp. Sharp wasn't funny. Unk is funny. Whether it's facial expressions, what he's saying, he's going to be like, what the hell?
With Sharp, it was a pure crash out. It was purely him being an irrational fucking monster. And then the girls trying to deal with it to one extent or another. But he ended up overthinking it and thinking that he was bigger than that. He should have kept doing that. He should still be yelling at hoes right now.
Yeah, if he would have stayed with the women.
Yeah,
he could have been the dude. What's the dude that died? He could have kind of like been in his lane, just on some
Kevin
pimp
Samuels.
shit. He like on some gorilla pimp type shit.
Because the problem with Sharp, and I can't believe that we're talking about Sharp, but the problem with Sharp is that he actually sucks with girls, and all of his big episodes were with girls that we got for him. And then once he started getting girls, they ended up being the leathery bar hounds.
But I will say this. Damn Homies, damn show broke his back. Damn Homie showed that you really ain't that pimp that you said you was.
She's 50 Cent, he's Ja Rule.
Yeah, she damn show definitely. Shout out to Damn Homies. Yeah. She put his fire out. She showed that real intimate, weird side of him. Nigga, you cried over me. You drunk my urine. You did this. Like, so now niggas is like, hold on, bro.
You told me about your torso.
Yeah, like crazy. And now it's coming out. Yeah. Shit she said is coming out.
Yeah.
That's why I f with Damn Homies. I think I f with her because she's bold enough not to give a f. And you was loyal to Sharp. Remember, I wanted to bring her on the show, and you weren't f with it because of Sharp.
You hear that? They think I'm a soulless animal.
No, that's a fact.
That just wants to throw my host to the wolves.
I damn sure tried to bring you. Was like, I'm not feeling it. No, that's what happened.
I care deeply about all of my hosts, and I want the best.
Wow. And before you know it, Damn Homies over here doing skits talking about why we can't have one in the back pocket. One in the back pocket.
Like another man in the back pocket?
Yeah.
Salute to Brooklyn.
Yeah, because she like, we got one in the back pocket. Why they can't do it?
That's crazy.
And they sneaky. Gigi, ain't y'all sneaky? They more sneakier than us.
I absolutely think women are definitely more sneakier than men. Absolutely.
Oh no, not you too.
It's the truth.
Women are like cats.
Yo, bro,
a woman is an ocean. A woman is an ocean full of secrets that a man will never know.
Hey, R&B got a
that you glory in that.
R&B
no,
got.
I'm speaking the truth. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie.
I ain't surprised. That's what's crazy.
Hey man, but not that man. Keep going now.
You said I ain't surprised.
You said hey man, but not that man. Keep going, Gigi. We heard you.
Yeah, you just clarifying, and validating what I already know.
You know the good cold part about it though, a lot of our women, they naturally want to submit. They naturally want to listen, but through their experiences, they start to think they know us, and there's no knowing us because all of us are different.
Right.
Right? And they tend to ruin what it could be because they giving the last dude that they claim they have no respect for all the respect and the power and say so in a situation that they have nothing to do with, because now we are them regardless. So now we spend the 6 months or a year trying to convince them I'm not the way he was. And by that time, we didn't lost motivation to even do what it was we planned to do.
Right.
So you're y'all going for that, ladies, because so you're trying to say that all men are what? All y'all different. Y'all don't have the same way.
Every man is different. We're absolutely, now you can categorize a group of men. You get what I'm saying? But we're all different. And a lot of you women, when you come out of a situation, you guys tend to be on a hunt for the total opposite of what you came out of, which you shouldn't do that, because what's approaching you might be what you really need. As a woman, you don't know what you need. You're designed to follow man, not man follow you. So we know what you need. You don't, that's your problem now. You trying to make your pick instead of letting us pick you.
Crickets.
Crickets?
Cricket. That don't even make bird sense, okay?
Or maybe it's crickets because they ain't got no response.
I feel like,
because I'm trying to figure out. You said,
go ahead.
You said a man knows what a woman needs.
Yeah, we know what you need. You think you know because of your last experiences. Okay, this type of guy didn't work out. That type of guy didn't work out. But once again, even the beta, amongst the betas or the alphas, they're different type of behaviors. So it's like, we know what it's not for you to pick us out. It's for us to pick you out. You're not supposed to be picking the man out. That's not how that's supposed to work. What you gonna want us to do next? Lay down and have the babies? That's not how that's supposed to work.
Now that's a fact.
Yeah, because once you've been hurt, you guys move by how you know how you don't want to move again. So that's gonna dictate your heart. So
when you find your woman,
R&B in a trick bag right now. I love
I
it.
don't necessarily
She
agree
better
with that
tread
one.
lightly right now, because you yourself ran. You ran for 272 days. Ran because you thought your words was, he's gonna be trouble. He's gonna.
Oh, baby, and you were trouble. You were trouble. Let's not.
I was not trouble.
I was right. Goddammit.
I was not trouble.
And if I'm not mistaken, your words to me was, you didn't know that you needed me until you got me. You didn't know what you needed until you got it.
They don't know what they need either.
No,
that's
they have it all figured out, and they just.
That's true. The journey's the journey.
Who
that's
is
what
that
you
down
said.
there? Come off that picture. You gonna be on there talking? You coming off that picture?
I'm coming. Give me a second. I'm coming.
Now,
I'm traveling. Hold on. I'm coming.
Cool. Listen, so okay, R&B once again.
What?
I was a man transitioning, and I had told myself that I would never ever settle down with another woman. This is what I told myself, and this is why, like a man, a man knows. Like Drewby says the things he says and acts the way he acts. But I'm telling you,
no, we're gonna keep it on you.
We
you
are.
Just
Listen,
said, no, we're not finished.
We listen. When a man programs himself, right, to focus on the things he needs to do. Now, remember, I'm a man coming out of raising 2 children, getting them off to college, and now the house is clear. I stayed in the pocket to make sure that balance was there. So now it's time to reset, readjust, and reinvent myself, right? My focus was myself, right? But I came across something that didn't demand my attention, that got my attention, right? It wasn't like somebody was making a pass at me, or it was a knock at my door, or, you know, it was advances at me,
right? So as I'm traveling down the road and I'm telling myself, get to the lake, get to the lake. Shit, I want to get to the lake because I'm thirsty, and I want to eat. There's some water and some fish there. But I ran across a berry tree, some peach, oranges. Both these things could satisfy my thirst and my appetite on my travel to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was. I didn't think the road I was on was gonna have these things, right?
And when you came to the lake, you had your peaches, your pears, your oranges, your apples, all that shit was in the bag. It was all in the bag.
I just told you, Kat. What I just said, my destination was the lake.
Right.
Now, on my travel to the lake, I'm focused on the lake. The lake is Wack. You not settling down or you not committing to nothing and nobody. You just came out of a 30-year situation, right? You want to get your mind right. So go to the lake where you can fish and this water is plentiful.
Yeah.
On the trail, I see some things. So I throw them in my knapsack. But one of them kept jumping out the knapsack.
Okay.
Right? And that was you. Right? And eventually you convinced me.
Wait, so wait a minute. So I was a fruit that was in your sack. I wasn't the lake you was headed to? Because I'm confused.
No, listen, the lake.
Because I was jumping out of knapsack. That means I would have had to be the fruit in there with all
the lake.
Fruit.
Listen, you can't have anything to do with the lake because the lake is already there. That's why I'm headed to it. Right? That's symbolic. A lake is where a lot of men can get their peace of mind with their rod and they cast.
Wait a minute. Hold on. No, see, we're not going to do that because the Bible says,
I don't know about the Bible.
Captain Tazariak and Drew B. If you drink from this lake, you shall never thirst again. It's
actually from this water.
I ain't no damn fruit because them fruits,
it's the water.
They rotten.
It's from the water.
Listen, when you
but
drink
the fruit comes from the
this
water.
well, you will never thirst again.
I think the lake is symbolic. I think the lake is symbolic for his destination, and you're the one that went there with him to the destination with all the different fruits and stuff.
No, I'm not a fruit. I'm not. I'm not in the fruit in the knapsack. I don't want to hear that.
She said that I had other things with me, right? Okay. Right. Okay. My mind wasn't on commitment. I just came out of 30 years. I stayed in that a little longer for the children. You know, Cap, the men take the hit for the household.
Yeah, absolutely.
Success or fail.
Men take the hit for the household.
Why not? Why don't you
But
want to hear
here
the
goes
truth?
the problem.
You don't want to hear the truth, huh?
These days, like damn homies in R&B seem to think that they can conduct themselves in the same way on their journey to the lake.
See, this
They're
is
not
the,
even
this
looked
is
at the
issue.
same. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the issue, ladies. I want y'all to pay attention to all these men on the stage, especially Cash Jones, aka Wack100. This is a example of manipulation and using his words to seduce and entice. He just told me that I was a fruit in a bag on his way to the lake. And I am telling him that I was the well he was headed to, so that he would never thirst again. Because when he brought himself to me, he conducted himself like he was a little thirsty. Amen.
Well,
he's trying to drive home.
Amen.
He was a little thirsty. So
you didn't let me finish. So yeah, love, this shit finna go crazy. This shit finna go crazy.